Hi, my name is Michelle Green, and I want to share what's been going on with me. U.S. police brutality, the secret that no one wants to go public or wants to go national. I've been placed in some sort of military game, something like Marines United. That's the game where Gloria Allred went ahead and took the military to court for 3 or 4 women who were violated by their exes. They had shared with them nude pictures or nude photos or videos, and when they broke up, the scorned individuals went ahead and sent those out to a group of 30,000+ men and possibly women throughout the country and both nationally and internationally. Unlike them, I've never taken a nude photo. However, what Victor Edozien has done, my ex, has had cameras placed in every place that I've lived. So I have been dehumanized, degraded, and I have a lot of sexual deviant men and women following me. So my security has been to a very heightened level where I've been raped. And yet police tell me I have to serve and protect myself, literally. I have been to police in Washington, D.C. I have been to police in Maryland. I have been to police in Georgia. I have been to police in Florida. And I have been in police in Nassau, Bahamas. To date, most of my police reports are either not documented or they're falsified. I am reaching out again for help from the public to reach out to Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who supports women who've been brutalized by such situations. I've reached out to her for the last several years, and to date, I have never been able to reach her. But yet, interesting enough, she does assist and support women who are in need. I reached out to Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton on numerous occasions. To date, no type of help. Chief Conte's office, I've reached out to have a face-to-face with him since for the last several years I've faced crimes and nothing's been done, including the rape, including my house being totally violated when I had it on 16th Street in Brooklyn, a house that I purchased on my own with my blood, sweat, and tears, working many hours. I had damages over $250,000 at a minimum. The police report was not provided to me for over a year. And the police report, when I did find out, it said I moved a couple things around. The insurance assessor came in and saw the damages of people who had urinated on my things, defecated, animal hair, because I had not been there on a regular. And it stated that I just moved things around. Phone lines were tapped, nothing done. Cyber crimes, nothing done. Now all of a sudden, 7 years later, I'm meeting with the chief of police's Tonja Gay, Detective Tonja Gay. I met with her yesterday regarding a rape. My question is, how are you going to investigate a rape several years later? But your whole focus is on asking me who is aware of these crimes that have been going on for several years that have nothing to do with a rape. And you don't record that. The only thing that you record is the rape part of the discussion, not you taking names and writing names of the individuals who are willing to support and share what they've seen or their knowledge once I get to the federal level, because all have advised me, including police who've helped me on the side, you'll never get an investigation by any type of police department. And that's been true because it's been proven. Chief Conte, at the least, I should have gotten a meeting with you. At the least. At the least. I have not been able to even been paid for the damages for my home because a report was not provided in a timely fashion. The insurer told me he had never experienced anything like this, where when he goes to a police department, they give him a report in real time. He was shocked and didn't understand what was going on. What do you say? What do you do? Another example, I have not. I've been trying to reach the FBI for years now. I've never reached the FBI. What I've reached is when I've gone and I've hopped all over the place when I had my finances because I've been trying to get help. I went to Philadelphia. I wrote a letter to Michael Driscoll, the special agent in charge. I went to Philadelphia trying to get help. I had 5 to 7 white men circle me on the FBI floor as I was waiting to speak with an agent, called me into the lobby part right outside of the lobby and advised me that I would never speak with an agent. Then they contacted security, and security, a tall white male came up with his hand on his gun. A black female came up and she couldn't look me in her face because she knew it was wrong, and they escorted me out. And no, I wasn't a belligerent black woman as we're always portrayed to be. I was a woman seeking help from a U.S. government entity, supposedly the highest possible. No type of help, none. By the way, let me mention to you my education. I went to Howard University undergraduate. I went to University of Pittsburgh MBA on a fellowship full paid. I went to Johns Hopkins for certificate in medicine. I didn't get an MBA because I already had an MBA. And I could mention a couple other accolades, but I won't. That should tell you a little bit about me, and I do know how to handle myself when I go someplace. I've written letters to the director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, I believe it is, on numerous occasions. And what we found is that through the FBI, sending my stuff through FedEx, they've been returned to the FedEx locations. Some undisclosed individual has picked up my correspondence, and he leaves the writing as ineligible, so no one knows where it goes, and I've never been responded to this date. I don't know what to say at this point. I've been to the FBI this week on the 18th, and when I went on the 18th, I previously went to the satellite location. I was directed to go to the headquarters by the corporal of the FBI police, Corporal Garner. When I got there, he had given me directions to email the FBI for a meeting and to call them. I shared the fact with him that every phone that I'm on, I'm redirected somehow. I don't know how it's done, but I've been told it's sophisticated and I need to get to the FBI. The email was never responded to. I showed him that. He found that hard to believe. So he said, Michelle, let's go ahead and let's call on my work. Then he said, no, let's call on my personal. So we stood outside along with the individual, the other officer that he was training. Both were police, FBI. And he called the FBI. I went ahead, he gave me the phone, and I spoke to the gentleman. The phone conversation ended with the individual hanging the phone in my ear. Corporal Garner advised me that's not the way that an FBI phone call should go. And as I shared with him, that phone call prior to reaching that individual, I've never heard those type of messages on an FBI when I call. In addition to that, once the individual was on, I told him that's the norm that I experienced. He shared with me again, that's not the norm. He said that he would speak with his supervisor about it. I'm dumbfounded. I appreciate his help, but at the same time, that's cybercrime. It's been following me everywhere. They've found government spyware on my equipment, and still nothing is done. I've been harassed at FBI locations, and I'm still wondering why I can't get help. I started reaching out to churches, and I reached out to Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church, where there's a Archbishop Alfred Owens. I was contacted by a parishioner, or so I am told. Her name is Eloise Kelly. She advised me that the Archbishop told her to help me, and that she found that what I was sharing with her was true. She had African friends and had confirmed that my ex, Victor Edozien, had put me in some sort of game, and in order for me to get out, I was told that someone needed to buy me out of the game. She also gave me direction that I needed to once change my name initially, and then she would move forward from her Nigerian contacts to do other things. Number one, I'm not changing my name for anybody. Number two, I'm not stupid enough to do that when I don't even know who you are, what you're doing. Number three, if something happens like that and you're going through the church, what you do is you contact the FBI. You don't go through the process and tell me what to do, especially something along those lines. As I mentioned, I'm seeking help. I'm seeking to get my YouTube bombarded with comments and feedback, but also contacting Senator Gillibrand at 202-224-4451, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton at 202-408-9041, contacting Chief Conti to ask why is he refusing to assist me in the most appropriate way. His phone number is 202-727-9099. I've reached out to the UN, United Nations Human Rights Violation, which is what has been done to me. And I can't even get my documents to them. I get an email back stating the United Nations does not investigate the United States, which we all know is incorrect, especially since Mr. George Floyd died or was murdered. I am dealing with a lot of heavy things. The most important is my mother was murdered. I am in a shelter. I used to volunteer in a shelter. I'm in a shelter not because I was poor in my finance or mismanaged them. It's because I've literally been attacked repeatedly, and police are refusing to document it. I am harassed by police up to this day, a couple days ago, which I will be getting video on that. I am tired. I've lost over 60 pounds. And I'm not going through this year. This individual put me in some crime game, and the game is anything can be done to me, and police cover up. When I say police cover up, that means they do not report the crimes. They falsify the crimes, or they do absolutely nothing at all. Who shared this with me? Police officers who don't want to get involved, but feel the need to give me some direction. Veterans who don't want to get involved, but have approached me telling me who my name is, what I've been going through, and knew everything about me. Citizens who are scared but shared stuff and shared with me that they watched me. And I don't know whether it be on computer or phone or TV, but they watched me in the privacy of my home with my mother, my elderly mother at the time before she was murdered, told me what I was wearing, what I was doing. This is not the first time someone has done that. I have repeatedly gone up to police. I've had bank accounts of $10,000 disappear. I've had bank accounts of $500 disappear, $300 disappear, telling me I never had a bank account. I've had my home worth in storage of roughly $2 million with my business been sold as West Palm Beach Police Department laughing in the background. I am going to do a series of these until I get noticed, until my voice gets heard. Why is it that Black females can just be brutalized, dehumanized, degraded, and nothing be done? More importantly, why are Black men who are police officers allowing this to happen? This is the secret that nobody wants to come out. This is a military game, I've been told, that's been going on for decades, over 10, 20, 30 years. No one's supposed to know about it. However, with me, I've been told by officers, they went to town on me because my ex, who is an American-born Nigerian, has advised me that he created me. This man left me with nothing but abuse. And just for those who are curious, you're looking at a woman who went to Howard University undergrad. You're looking at a woman who went to University of Pittsburgh MBA on a fellow, full paid scholarship. You're looking at a woman who got a certificate from Johns Hopkins because I already had the MBA. And I could give a little bit more accolades, but I won't because it's not important. The important thing is that when people come of color or sex orientation to a police department, whether it be on the East Coast, the West Coast, the North, or friggin' in the water, they're supposed to get help. But instead, police have refused to. I know that there are nudes that are out there of me. There's a gentleman today when I went to the Apple Store, Carnegie Library, to get a preservation of letter because there's been sexual photos of me out there. And I'd also like to preface the fact that I've been given drugs from ecstasy to poisons, and the list goes on. He started doing a hand job in front of me to let me know. I get people like that who Victor pays to follow me, to remind me what they put out there. I've gotten extortions. I've gotten everything. But please be put on notice, Victor Edozien. Please be put on notice, United States military. And please be put on notice, the police departments. I could give a shit. The bottom line is, I'm a U.S. citizen. I have rights. And I'm tired of this, and I'm not living this anymore. And if you're thinking that due to statute of limitations, the only thing you did was create new precedents for laws now. What has been done with me has never been able, I've been told, been able to be proven, yet I can. That's one thing. That means laws will be changed, and I'm the right person to do it. So please, by all means, all of you who are in support of me, this isn't just about me. They've also been doing this to other individuals. But what they've been able to do is they've been able to demonize their names to the point where individuals have started taking drugs, I've been advised. Individuals have committed suicide, and other individuals have been labeled as unstable or mental, which the police have been doing with me, including Detective Gay trying to get me to go see a counselor. And as I shared with her, the only thing I need from the police department is to do their damn job, which they should have been doing years ago. That's what I need from you. Do your job. Don't record me for the sex part, and then for the non-sexual part, you turn the recording off and ask me, so who are the witnesses? Where can they be found? If that's not related to sexual assault, what are you doing asking me that? As stated, I've gone through a lot. Words can't describe. And I'm not going to just drop this. My mother was murdered. And just for the note, her death is noted as natural causes, which I can prove otherwise without a doubt. No one has ever listened to me. No one has ever heard me. No one has ever met me. The DOJ has over 1,000 pages of evidence that has never been scanned in. Protocol is they're supposed to be scanned in. I spoke with a contractor paralegal, Emily Woods, who initially lied and said that she was an attorney, to find out later when I asked to put it in writing that she actually was a paralegal and a contracting paralegal. I have a right to speak with an attorney at the DOJ. I have a right to meet with the FBI, and I have sent, or I am in the process of sending out a letter to Chief David Sutton, who is the FBI Chief of Police. And I'm copying also Christopher Wray, of FBI Director, and Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, and also the United Nations, as to why these things continue to happen and police refuse to do anything. I come with witnesses, Homeland Security, individual who's seen it, refuses to go to Homeland Security, but has witnessed and stating to me that he's willing to speak to whomever I can bring. To me, it seems like that's a violation in itself. I've had an NSA contractor share with me that, Michelle, you're not being breached by your computer, you're being surveilled. I'm living in a damn shelter now, something I'm not used to. I'm used to volunteering in shelters. I'm used to having my own stuff. I work, and I work hard, and I've done my blood, sweat, and tears for it to find out that all my accounts, a $10,000 bank account doesn't just friggin' disappear. And the police tell me they're not going to do anything. My USA accounts, 500, 300, money all over the place has disappeared. This story is coming out. Victor, be prepared. Be prepared well. And these death threats that have been coming my way, they don't move me. Same thing with the nudes and the extortion. Before I met you, I had nothing to be ashamed of. You've done the stuff to me. Put it out there. I'd like to see all of it because I've been drugged in my own home to wake up to find bruises on myself. I'm not going away, Victor. I am not going away. And on that note, I will be reaching out to all my alma maters. Howard University, I need your support. University of Pittsburgh, I need your support. Johns Hopkins, I need your support. Rutgers University, I'm 18 credits shy, and I'm sure most of my credits from my other degrees will pass me over. I need your support because I'm not getting it from anyone that I should be getting it from. I plan on reaching out. 100 black men, I supported you. Now I need your support. And for all those others, and I will be putting out your name because I need you to go on YouTube, put a message in, get my footage, my visibility up, and start making phone calls for me. I will also be creating a Wix account so people can start seeing the documentation. I'm not lying. And ain't nothing crazy about me, as every police department that I've gone to has been trying to have me labeled as incompetent, insane, and crazy. I'm a black woman with attitude. You got that right, but I ain't crazy. And this ain't over. It is just beginning. Everything that I lost, I want back, and I'm taking back, and then some. Thank you. Want to keep it short, and hopefully I'll get some love from you guys and some support, and about to get a little teary-eyed now, so it's time for me to go. Thank you, and God bless.